Hi there, Lamont here, Female Empowerment EFT, and I want to share with you a tool that you can use to reduce your stress. Maybe there's a lot of stress right now, seems to be throughout the whole world. So I'm here to support you and give you a form of acupressure that you can use. It's actually scientifically proven to reduce your stress. Now, first, let's talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing. What we're doing is called EFT, and that stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques. Now, we call them emotional freedom techniques because they really do just that. They can actually, by using these techniques, we can actually free ourselves of the stress, the anger, the sadness, the frustration, the overwhelm, the uncertainty, all of the emotions that we're feeling right now. We can use this tool and actually reduce the emotional charge that we're having, which in turn reduces our stress and puts us into a better place overall in our lives. So EFT is also known as tapping, and the reason it's known as tapping is because we actually are going to be tapping on our meridian channels. Now, what we're doing is a form of acupressure, and this is based on ancient Chinese medicine, acupuncture and acupressure. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be tapping on specific points while focusing on whatever the issue is. Now, EFT is a tool that's been around for quite some time now, and it's really very useful for a number of things, anywhere from physical pain to stress, to anxiety, to PTSD, to weight loss, to sports enhancement, limiting beliefs. You can use EFT for a great number of things. Food cravings, addictions, the list kind of just keeps going on and on and on. But what we're going to be doing is focusing on reducing our stress and also increasing our ability to take in a deep breath, because I think right now with what's going on, I think it's also really helpful to be able to expand our lungs and really increase our lung capacity. So we're going to be doing that today. Now, a little bit about me. My name is Lamont. My business is Female Empowerment EFT. And I am a certified and accredited Advanced EFT Practitioner through EFT International. I've been certified since 2014, and I've been teaching people how to use EFT since then. I really enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy this video. Now, this video is a way for you to get the tool right now. And what's going to happen is later on in the video, I'm going to share a time and a place where you can log in and join me for a live video chat. So we'll get to there in a little bit, but this is for right now in the moment before our live call, so that you can just start tapping, you can understand what it is, and you can start reaping the benefits now. You don't have to wait for that live call, okay? Now, a little bit of explanation about how EFT works. We have, there's been many studies that have been done now on EFT on our cortisol levels before and after using EFT. If you're not familiar with cortisol, it is our stress hormone. And when cortisol levels are elevated, what's happening is we're under stress. Our amygdala in our brain, that part of our brain that is always on the lookout for danger, it's always on the lookout for a threat. It's the part of our brain that activates the fight, flight, or freeze response. Now, if it activates, what happens is it actually shuts down all non-essential body and brain functions, which is really useful if you're, being chased by a bear, or in in another situation where you're in grave danger. It's very, very useful because all of your functions are focused on survival, and that's how we're hardwired. The thing is, because it needs to shut down everything, here's what it's shutting down. You ready? So for your body, just to name a few, it's shutting down digestion, metabolism, internal healing. So if you're fighting off a cold and your body is in this state, it's not able to work on the healing, which is really important right now. As far as our non-essential brain functions that it shuts down, that would be our compassion, our reasoning, our understanding, our creativity, all of those wonderful qualities that make you the special person that you are, they're all kind of gone out the window. So what we want to do is, by using this tapping technique, we actually are sending a calming signal to the brain, and we're reducing the cortisol that's being pumped into our bodies. And now a lot of people will say, well, I mean, I'm not often in a fight, flight, or freeze response. But if you're feeling a high level of stress, which most people are just in an average day, let alone in a pandemic time frame, if you're feeling that high level of stress, you're going to be experiencing these issues. And what's going to happen is you're not going to be able to access all those wonderful parts of the brain, and you don't even realize it because you're just so stressed. And your body is, the cortisol is wreaking havoc as well. So scientifically proven, we can actually reduce our cortisol levels by up to over 43% by using tapping, this technique. So and we're going to talk a little more about the tapping, but I think it's better to just kind of do it and feel it for yourself, because I like to actually experience things. I don't know about you. So before we begin, I do encourage you to pause the video, go and wash your hands, make sure your hands are very, very clean. If you're not comfortable with touching your face right now, I completely understand. You can skip certain points. You can just kind of hover over them. You don't have to actually physically touch them if that's uncomfortable for you. And so if you want to pause the video, you can do that right now. And all right, so now we're going to start. Now inside of our body, we have all these meridian channels, and these meridian channels are carrying our energy throughout our body. And most of them are connected to organs. And I know this may sound a little bit out there, but I really think that by just giving it a try and feeling it, you're going to reap the benefits, and you're going to see that there's real value here. So let's just give it a go, okay? What I'd like you to do is take a breath and tune into your body. And I want you to tune in and see just how stressed or tense you're feeling right now, okay? And we're going to give that a number. So 0 is you're completely relaxed, there's no problems at all, and 10 is it's off the charts, it's the most stressed you could possibly be, okay? So I want you to give that number, whatever it is that you're feeling in your body. Maybe it's tension, maybe it's stress, whatever, okay? And we're just going to just tap through the points and just see how we feel, okay? So the first place that we tap on is the side of the hand. And this is the side of the hand where the pinky is, and you're just going to tap here. Now, as far as the tapping goes, we're just tapping firm enough so that you can feel it, and you don't want to hurt yourself, right? But you do want to be able to feel it. And it doesn't matter if you use your left or your right. I switch it up quite a bit. Some people like to do both at the same time, just whatever works for you, okay? So we're just going to tap here, and if you want, you can close your eyes for a moment if you feel safe doing so, and we're just going to breathe. It doesn't have to be deep breaths, just regular, normal breathing. And now the next point that we tap on is the top of the head. So we're just going to come up here on top of the head. And now if you're comfortable using the tapping points on your face, we're going to go through some of them on the face. The first one is the inside of the eyebrow. And then the next one is the side of the eye. Again, if you don't want to touch here, that's fine. You can just kind of tap in the general area just so you're learning. And plus there are still benefits from doing this. The next point is under the eye. The next one is under the nose. I understand if you don't want to tap on this one, you could just kind of hover over. And then the chin. Next, we're going to tap on the collarbone. And I think you can tap a little firmer here than you would have on your face. The next point we're going to tap on is under the arm. And ladies, if you're wearing a bra, this is where you would be tapping. Gentlemen, it's really just where your hand naturally reaches right here. It's about 4 inches under the armpit. And the next point we're going to tap on is we're going to tap the 2 wrists together. And now I'd like you to put your hands on your heart and just take a breath. And I want you to tune into whatever it was that we were tuning into before, whether it's stress or tension, whatever you're feeling right now. Okay? And I'd like you to rate it with the number again and see how the number has changed, if it has changed. We've only done 1 round, so if it hasn't changed yet, it's okay. It will most likely still come down. Probably just need to do a few more rounds, but most people feel a benefit right out of the gate, right with that first round. Okay? So, we have just moved energy through our body. We have just sent, on a more significant level, we have sent a calming signal to the brain, letting the brain know that we are safe in this moment, that it's okay. We're not in survival mode. I understand that things might be scary outside and things are kind of really unusual, unprecedented times right now, but what we're trying to do is let the brain know that we're not in imminent danger at this very moment, right? We're not being chased by a bear. We're okay. Now, what I'd like you to do is we're going to now do a little bit of tapping on our getting a deep breath, okay? Now for this exercise, I'd like you to take in a deep breath, and I'd like you to gauge how restricted that breath feels. Maybe the restriction is a 5. Maybe you're feeling like you get like a half of a full breath in. Maybe it's very restricted. Maybe it's not very restricted. I don't know. So we're just going to gauge this number on level of restriction that you're feeling. So in this case, the lower number would be better, right? The lower the restriction or constriction, and then the higher number would be for the more constricted breath. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to do a little bit of tapping on the side of the hand. And what I'd like you to do is, I'm encouraging you to repeat after me. If the words I'm saying don't resonate, you can absolutely change them. We're going to stay here on the side of the hand for a few moments, and we're going to say some things, okay? You ready? Even though my breath is constricted, I deeply and completely accept myself. And even though I have a constricted breath, that's just how I feel right now. And I accept myself. And even though my breath is constricted, I deeply and completely accept myself. So we tend to do it 3 times on the side of the hand. This is called a setup statement. We're letting basically the brain know, the body know, we're acknowledging that there's a constricted breath. We're also saying that we accept ourselves. We're sending signals to the brain. Okay? Now, top of the head. This constricted breath inside the eyebrow. I can't take in a full breath. Side of the eye. This constricted breath. under the eye. Constriction under the nose. Wanting to take a full breath. Chin. This constricted breath. Collarbone. This constricted breath. Under the arm. Wanting to take a full, deep breath. Inside the wrist. I accept myself. So now go ahead and put your hands on your heart again. Take another breath. And then what I'd like you to do is take that deep breath and see how much lung capacity you're having now. And see if that breath can be even deeper now. And see if you're feeling like you can take a deeper breath, like there's less constriction. And what I encourage you to do is actually to do this tapping a few times. Just keep rewinding and do it with me. There's actually a EFT person who recently had, his video's gone viral. He is one of the first people with COVID on a cruise ship in Japan, I think. And he remembered that he had learned this technique some 10, 20 years ago. And he started doing it in the hospital. And he was actually able to come off of the respirator. Or maybe it was he didn't need, they were getting ready to get the respirator for him. And he was doing this tapping. And then he ended up not needing it. And his recovery became much, much faster once he had started doing the tapping. Because we're sending that calming signal to the brain. The brain is, everything starts working together. It's no longer in that survival mode. Okay? Now, we're going to do one more, actually two more tapping techniques, and then I have a little more information for you. So the next tapping technique that I want to work on with you is when you're feeling stressed, which I imagine is probably happening right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the side of the hand. Okay. And what we're going to, when I go like this, you're going to fill in whatever it is, the emotion that you're feeling. Okay. Even though I'm feeling, whenever I think about whatever it is that you're thinking about that's making you feel this way, I deeply and completely accept myself. And even though I feel whenever I think about, that's just how I feel right now. And I accept myself. And even though I'm feeling from thinking about, that's just how I feel. And I accept myself. Top of the head. I'm feeling inside the eyebrow. Whenever I think about side of the eye, I really feel under the eye. Just keep talking about however you're feeling right now. Just let it out. Under the nose, I'm feeling. Chin, I feel. Collarbone. Whenever I think about under the arm, I'm feeling inside the wrist. And that's just how I feel. Go ahead and take a breath. And tune into how you're feeling. Has the emotion changed? Has it decreased? So basically what we're doing is we're starting off with an emotion. It could be stress, anger, frustration, whatever, sadness, whatever, grief, whatever you're feeling, okay? You're going to put a number to it. You're going to gauge how strong that feeling is. And then we're going to do this tapping that we're doing together right now. And now I do want to say, tapping is incredibly beneficial when it comes to traumas and anxiety and big things like that. But as far as working with yourself and working on your own, the things that are safe for you to be working on and are good for you to be working on are things like tension, stress, maybe worry, emotions that are that you're feeling in the moment right now. If you happen to know that you have trauma or depression or anxiety or PTSD or things like that, you're going to want to reach out to a qualified practitioner, somebody who is trauma informed, somebody who has proper training, somebody who knows how to guide you along in a safe way. Because when we're doing this tapping, we're accessing our emotions and we're moving them through. And so for the most part, that's very, very comfortable and safe for you to do on your own. But I like to think of it as like red light, yellow light, and green light things. So as far as this video is concerned, we're doing the green light things. We're focusing on the smaller issues. I realize that they may not feel small at this very moment, but we're not delving into childhood traumas or anything like that right now. Okay? So make sure I'm clear on that one. Now, if you are not wanting to tap on your face, or if you're wanting to tap in person, in public, or not public right now, but you know what I mean, around other people, there is another technique that you can use where you can tap more discreetly and people won't know. So what I like to do is, I'm holding my hand up, and you don't have to have your hand up by your face. I'm doing this just so you can see. So palm facing you. And what you're going to do is you're going to tap on the top corner of your thumb, where your thumbnail and your thumb meet. Okay? And then you're going to go down the fingers. And like I said, these points they're connected to organs, they're connected to things. There's benefits from, tapping on every point, really. Back to the side of the hand. And then we do the inside of the wrist. And then back to the thumb. So I call this circle tapping because we're just going in a circle, okay? And this is something you could do with your hand in your lap. People don't have to know what you're doing. You could be doing this under your desk or, something like that, okay? So that's another technique that you can be using on your own if you're, in your house around other people. Now, chances are there's lots of questions. Usually people have lots of questions when we do these types of events. And since this is unprecedented timing, what we've decided to do is have this video so that you can experience the tapping, get the relief right now, start to reduce your stress right now. And if you have any questions, immediate questions, burning questions, I encourage you to email me. So my email is femaleempowermenteft@gmail.com, and it's right down here on the bottom of the screen right now. Okay? And if you're just curious about learning more about EFT or about myself, you can visit my website, which is femaleempowermenteft.com. Now, if you want to reach out to me, I strongly encourage you to do so. And furthermore, we're going to be having a Q&A at your place, and the information is right here on the screen. And any links to connect us to that Q&A should be right here on the website along with the video. So all of the information is right here. And again, if you have questions, I encourage you to reach out to me. I want to thank you for watching and thank you for being here with me today. And I encourage you to really just play with it, tap along, tap and breathe, tap and feel your chest expanding, and tap and feel yourself increasing your immunity and increasing your energy while reducing your stress And like I said, sending that calming signal to the brain. I want to thank you for being here with me today.